All right, so let's see if we can make pseudocode for, which sort method is this?
Bubble.
Okay, so pseudocode for a bubble sort. Let's see, I'll want to, let's see, how did that work? I need to loop through the array, right? Okay, so what variable do you want to use to loop through the array?
I.
Sure. I. Pick something. Don't care what. Okay. So once you're looping through the array, then what do you need to check?
If current and last are in the right place.
Close. Current and yeah, I want the current one and the next one,
yeah,
right?
the current saved one and the next one, yeah.
Yeah, so this thing doesn't keep much track, right? So this does, we're going to loop through the array, and we're going to, at the very first, we're going to ask, is the first thing smaller than the second thing? Guess that? What's up?
I just noted we might end up, if we're not careful, we can end up with an out-of-bounds exception by doing +1 outs.
Yeah, that's a reasonable point. We may end up with an out-of-bounds exception if we're not paying a little bit of attention. I'm just going to leave that out of the pseudocode, but I am going to put here maybe think out of bounds. Oops, that was supposed to be a question mark and a curly brace. Right, so just like think about the out of bounds exception when you write this, or find it quick. Like we're going to find it by accident or hurry. So I want to ask if array I is, when do I want to switch them?
Greater than.
If the array I is greater than array
I plus 1.
I plus 1. So is the element you're looking at bigger than the next one, right? If it is, then you want to...
Temporary storage integer.
Okay, so you need to make a temp storage, right?
Temporary storage integer is equal to array I.
Okay, so force array I, right, the thing you're looking at, into your storage, and then
numbers I equals numbers I plus 1. Or array I equals array I plus 1.
okay, so we're going to take the ith element in our array, and we're going to force array I plus 1 into that spot. Right, so we're going to kind of pick up a card, shuffle that one forward, and then we're going to drop the card into the next slot, right? So that's going to be array
I plus 1 equals your temporary storage.
I plus 1 takes temp storage.
Yeah.
Oops, and I changed the... This whole business, right, all of this stuff, is supposed to just switch those two guys, right? So I'm not super picky about your pseudocode, whether you write all 3 steps or whether you wrote the step like array I switches array I plus 1. It's kind of with me on that. You could even write a switch method, right? Which would actually maybe be a nice idea, to just have a method that you pass 2 integers and it just returns them in opposite spot. Or you pass it an array and 2 indices and it returns the array with those switched or something. Or doesn't return them. You could figure out a way to make this a method, right? And I'm not really worried about whether you do that or not. All right, so then what do I need here?
Then go to the next loop.
Yeah, so I'm done with this if statement, right? So I do and if. You guys see that? So that's going to loop through the array, right? And it's going to go through the array and switch.
Oh, and then it's got to do the loop again.
Oh.
Until it doesn't find any.
Yeah, you guys see that? Because right now, this is looping through the array one time, right? So this is like one pass. So that's going to be my end loop here. So that's one whole pass through the array. So I don't just want to go through the array once and move the cards down. I want to go through it again, right?
How about putting it at the top, putting it into a while loop and setting a boolean?
Sure, we could stick this in a while loop and set a boolean, or I'm going to do something even dumber. I'm just going to stick it in the draw loop, right? But you're going to have to loop through this somehow, right? And then you're going to have another end loop down here. You guys with me on this as far as pseudocode goes? All right, so my method for this, since I'm writing and processing, is this loop is just going to be the draw method, right, which loops through on its own. And then I'm just going to stick this thing into the draw method. Cool? I'm actually going to stick this thing in its own little method. So I'm going to make all of this stuff a method that I'm going to call bubble sort step. Because I already wrote a bunch of this code, right? I already wrote all this stuff to get those rectangles drawn and whatnot. I'm not going to rebuild that particular wheel. I'm just going to open that program up and I'm going to put this all in a method. And then I'm going to put that method's call into the draw method. You guys cool with that?